Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and today's video is very exciting because we will be showing you my haircut. Yes, I said we. My very, very sweet hairdresser, Christian Light, graciously offered to let me film the process, and she even went above and beyond and answered some questions that you guys had asked over on Instagram, all about my haircut. And this is a very exciting video because I get asked so many questions about my haircut. What kind of haircut do I get? Does it affect whether or not I have good wash days or not? And the big debate is whether or not, if you're a wavy, should you get a wet cut or a dry cut? And as you'll see from this video, I get a wet cut, and we explain why in the video. So just keep on watching if you're curious on my haircut. So, what are we doing today?
Okay, so are you wanting to keep your length for the most part? Okay.
Yes.
And then just trim up your layers?
Yes, I do think that some of these layers that you cut last time were absolutely wonderful, but like maybe take them up just a little bit so that there's more
More volume?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Because the waves weighs down my weak windy waves.
And then as far as where you part it on either side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll just cut you in the middle. Either way.
Alright, well while she's trying to work through my rat's nest, let's answer some of these awesome questions. This one was really interesting. How do you make sure your hair comes out even when getting a wet cut? My hair is way curlier underneath and around my face. So layers always end up super uneven if I get them wet cut. That was Zelly Rose.
So, we just talked about this.
Yeah.
And, so you can definitely cut hair dry as well.
So you recommend a dry cut for people with
Different curl patterns. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because, or else they're gonna shrink. Their hair's gonna shrink up to different lengths on their head.
So
It's not gonna be even.
So each individual person kind of needs to be assessed if a wet cut is suitable for them or not.
Yes. Yeah. If you have mostly the same curl pattern throughout your whole head, a wet cut is great. And if not, if you have crazy different curl patterns, then it needs to be assessed differently.
Okay, dry cut. Now, something that was really cool for me was learning that people even got their hair cut dry. Like, that was never in the realm of my experience before learning about the curly girl method.
Yeah, it's so different because you don't go through and brush each section out and stuff.
Yeah. My hair lets you do that because it's kind of fine and fairly wavy, but people with extreme curl patterns or very strong curl patterns, there we go.
Yeah, much tighter curl. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how mine is too. I cut my hair wet, or get mine cut wet.
And y'all can see that she has amazing curls. Amazing curls. Like, we need some of that. Alright. Can wet cuts be done for short-haired waves? I just had my first dry cut, and I love seeing exactly how it would look when it was dry.
So that's kind of like
The similar question.
yeah, and it's kind of whenever you don't have different curl patterns, it's not necessary that you get it cut dry. You can kind of do either way. It's
Okay.
almost preference
So,
between the stylist and the client.
so someone like me with a very, very soft curl pattern, not a very tight curl pattern, I could theoretically get my hair cut dry, but it wouldn't necessarily be as beneficial to me.
Right.
Oh, very cool. I like this question. Tips on communicating with a stylist who isn't familiar with cutting wavy and curly hair.
Yeah, Yeah, so that is kind of a tough one because, I mean, there's definitely some things that are helpful, but like I understand curly hair because I have it, and I don't know if I would be as good at cutting curly hair if I didn't have it.
Right.
So,
So basically, if I ever have to move away and I can't drive to come see you, I'm gonna have to look for a curly haired stylist, basically.
right, and then also like whenever you sit down in someone's chair, you can ask them, "Are you used to cutting curly hair?" And if they say no, then you're like, "Okay, well, if you prefer more layers to give you more volume, you can tell them about that." And
Now, there's been a big debate kind of going around that I've seen lately that apparently you're not supposed to use texturizing shears, but do blunt cuts when cutting curly hair. But, like in the past, you and I have used the texturizing shears on my hair, and I actually really like how that works.
right, so I think because of your hair texture, like because you have a finer hair texture anyways, your hair is very lightweight. That texture, putting in the texture with texturizing shears helps with that.
Oh, that makes so much sense. But
Gives
if
you a little
there's
lift.
But if there's already so much texture you don't know what to do with it, you can't get it to come into a curl or a wave pattern, that maybe adding texture would cause more problems than benefit. But me, I don't have enough texture, so we're putting some texture in to help it.
Yes, and it's also about your curl, like the actual strands of hair.
Oh, okay.
So if you had coarser hair, I wouldn't do as much texturizing with texturizing shears on you.
Because coarse hair in and of itself, you can feel it. It has texture.
Yeah, it creates so much texture, and it's heavier.
Okay, very cool.
Or it kind of feels that way. you
Oh,
know?
this is a question for me. I have fine hair, but in my low, medium, or high density?
So I think you'd be between medium and high.
Okay, so there's a lot of, not copious amounts, but there's a lot of
You
hairs.
have a lot of hair.
You have, but it's very fine.
Yeah, you have thick, fine hair. So your hair strands are smaller, but you have a lot of it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Alright. So, on communicating with your stylist, first you ask if they have had,
I'm gonna turn you just a little bit.
if they have had experience cutting textured hair, curly hair in the past, and if they say no, what can you tell them to help them cut your hair? Like if they have no experience at all cutting curly hair.
This is a hard one for me to answer.
Like, is there anything that you remember or like have heard people say that you're like, okay, I can see how that would be?
So I think definitely letting them know like your hair has shrinks, like how much your hair shrinks, so that if they are cutting it wet like this, it's pulled out straight, but whenever it dries, it may shrink up 4 inches.
Right.
And you'd want to let them know
Okay.
so they can visualize an end result with you still, even though they're not used to curly hair.
Okay. Very cool.
And like that's really beneficial as far as when it comes to cutting hair, like a face frame or bangs, something like that. Like they're gonna shrink, so they need to know that. So I'm gonna just like explain to like what I'm doing now. So I just went around and cut her whole length all the way around her head. And then now I'm gonna go through and do some layering. So.
for wavies. So, like you said earlier, it can be done. It's just not necessarily as beneficial as it is on people with a much tighter curl pattern.
Right.
Okay.
Because, well, and the reason why is because your hair looks, with the tighter curl pattern, your hair looks so different dry.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why it's so beneficial. Or that's why it would be.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all the questions I got.
Awesome!
We did it! We answered questions and I'm getting my hair layered. Woohoo! Alright, so this is fun. You've seen my hair the whole time I've been doing this curly girl voodoo.
Yes, your magic.
My magic. Have you seen a change in my hair?
Yes, for sure. I think your hair is much healthier.
Really?
now. Yeah, I think so because, I mean, when you first came to me, there was color on parts of your hair. There was just more going on, and it would take us longer to do a haircut because you have thick hair, and I would always be working to blend those top layers.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
I do. And I remember that my hair was so dry and damaged, like it wasn't shiny at all. Like there was no natural luster to it. And then like the split ends were just insane. Like my hair was breaking off mid-shaft and I didn't know any different.
Right.
Now I have a hard time finding a split end due to regular trends. Using products that don't torture my hair.
Right. And not actually torching your hair anyways. I mean, not just by not coloring it, you've taken away quite a bit of torture to your hair.
Oh, that's something that a lot of people ask. Nobody asks specifically for me because I don't color my hair, but I've seen people ask coloring hair and having curls. Thoughts, opinions, what do you do for people with curly hair that want to be different color?
I just warn them of what could, like the damage that it could cause because not all color is drying, but whenever you're lightening hair, that is always drying to the hair. And so I always just say, so this may damage your curl pattern.
Okay, and when that happens, is there any way to minimize that damage, to help revive the messed up curl pattern?
Yes, you can always do like deep conditioning masks and things of that nature. And then definitely like the way that your stylist colors your hair, like if they're just really having to fry it to get it where you need it.
If you're
to
wanting to
go.
go a bunch of shades lighter.
Yes. Yeah, there's kind of no hope.
Okay.
But like for you, you're so light anyways, so getting you to super platinum blonde isn't a stretch, you know?
Right.
But even still, your hair has been much healthier without moving on back to it.
Right. And I'm personally very happy with my natural hair color. I actually hadn't seen my natural hair color until you did the big chop. But I really like it's something that I haven't seen since I was I think 14, and even then, you know, when I was 14 my hair was lighter naturally, so like to see my hair in its natural state, it's not nasty dirty dishwater blonde, it's prettier than dirty dishwater blonde.
Yes, you have a pretty hair color.
And your hair color, oh my Lanta, can we just all have your hair color please?
Thanks. You're sweet.
And you don't color it at all, do you?
I don't. I am a low maintenance girl.
Can we just hate on Christian for a minute for her gorgeous natural hair color? My Lanta. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you make me want to make my hair that color.
Well, thanks. I think it's definitely, I used to get made fun of so much when I was growing up for being a redhead. And so like now,
You're kidding.
well, it's just, kids are mean. Anything that's different that they can point out, you know.
It's because they all wanted it, because it's gorgeous.
Well, I didn't know that then.
Yeah. So what are your tips as a stylist for caring for curls? What are we're coming at it from the viewpoint of a stylist, what tips do you have?
I think, so I have been watching. And I think kind of like a lot of things that I've heard you say are stuff that I would tell people.
Oh, cool.
Yes, because so like whenever you knew that it was time for you to get a haircut, you said you felt like you were out of shape, kind of. That's exactly the way that I feel whenever I need to get a haircut. And my hair may not be, it may not be awfully like split. I may not have tons of split ends or anything like that, but I feel like I just I don't have good hair days anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You start struggling and really fighting for each decent.
Yeah, like where did all my good hair days go? Why can't I get a cute style anymore? So that, and then I think it's just whenever you are transitioning, you just have to work with it.
Patience.
And like, yes, and you've done so much research. So that is like so valuable. But
so doing the research for yourself and really learning this for yourself, because you only see your stylist every so often, but you're the one caring for your hair daily, so it's kind of taking ownership of your hair.
yes, so as far as products to use, 100%. But like whenever I have curly haired people sit down in my chair and I ask them, one of the first things I'll ask them is, do you ever wear your hair curly? You know? And if they say no, I hate it how it looks curly, I'm not interested in doing that, then I just move along.
Right.
But if they're like, oh, sometimes I wear my hair curly, I just don't really love how it looks curly, but I'd love to do that more.
Yeah.
You know, then I will say, okay, well, this is what I do for my hair, and your hair is similar in this way or not similar, you know, just however their hair is different than mine. And then we go off of suggestions for products from that.
And this is a great segue. What are your favorite products?
Okay, so right now I'm kind of in a product slump. Not even gonna lie, which is part of why I'm super excited to try some new things. But yeah, it definitely happens. And I think one of the products that you recommended to me, Innocence, I have loved their stuff.
Good.
Yes, I used that this morning. Like,
Aww.
I washed my hair today.
Yeah, those Innocence products are really, really nice because they're so concentrated and
They are.
natural and organic.
And for my hair, kind of similar to yours, a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm always playing around with products though. It's like a never ending, just an always searching for.
It's so much fun to experiment and test.
It is. Sometimes it's frustrating, but once you kind of get it figured out,
Yeah.
it is fun.
When there's that ray of hope, when you have that decent hair day, you're like, ah, I did something that worked.
Yay! Yeah, it definitely helps whenever you have that decent hair day. But the funniest part about curly hair to me is that most of like my friends, coworkers, people that see my hair curly and styled, like every day, and never do anything else with it. They will always say, like, if I feel like I'm having a bad hair day, it's so funny because they'll always say, your hair looks the same.
Aww.
It looks so good.
And you're like, well, darn, does my hair look that bad every day? But no, it's just your own perception.
Yeah.
That has happened to me where I feel like I look really bad. And people are like, oh my gosh, how'd you get your hair to look like that? That's
Yeah.
amazing. amazing. And I'm like, oh god.
They're telling you how great your hair looks on your bad hair day.
Like, okay then.
You're like, all right.
I'll take that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's usually not as bad as we feel like it is.
So tell me about, you mentioned that kids are mean and they talk about your hair color, but have you always been one to wear your hair curly, or was there a point in which you were like, nah, I'm going to start doing this now?
So growing up, my mom did my hair for me, and my mom is not like a beauty guru or a hair guru or anything like that. It would just be up in a ponytail
Okay.
every day. Easy. Like, I didn't know that my hair was, I didn't know the potential for my hair because it was just always up, and I was a tom girl and like whatever.
Right.
It worked.
Right. Get the hair out of the way so you can move forward.
Yes. And then in junior high, like, you start wanting to be cute and accepted and loved on and
Yeah.
get attention. And so then about that time, so my sister's 5 years older, and she had curly hair also. And I would watch her do her hair. And then I started doing my hair.
Okay.
And I started out with like the cheapest gel from Walmart, like the LA, whatever it's called.
You know that's still like super popular. People love that stuff.
Well, it works.
It works great.
It works. But like, it was just like the cheapest stuff that my mom would buy from Walmart.
Yeah.
And that's how I started doing my hair. Like, I would just use it, and
That's awesome.
great. Yeah.
So like basically the entirety, you never had a moment where you're like, okay, I'm gonna stop straightening my hair and go curly. You just always embraced your curls.
Well, and I used to straighten my hair back then a bit more, but
Okay.
it wasn't ever really like a thing I did all the time every day, or like even once a week. It was like a,
Wow.
oh, I'm gonna do my hair, or my friend has volunteered to do my hair today, so I'm gonna let her.
Nice.
You
I
know?
love it. That is really cool.
So now I'm just gonna go through and check all of your layers and make sure they're even.
Gosh, I'm having some natural texture in my hair with it drying. Look.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a really good one. That was
My
really cute.
single wavelet next to her crown of curls.
Oh my gosh. That is the worst thing to do.
That's true.
Do not compare yourself.
Thief of joy, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yes.
Christian, for helping my hair get healthy.
Yes, seriously. Well, you did it. I remember whenever you came in and you were like, because I had colored your hair before,
Right.
but you were like, okay,
I'm done
I'm
with this.
cutting it all off, all the color, I want it gone. And I was like, oh, okay, this is exciting. Okay, so I was like, what are we working for?
Right.
And you were like, I just want healthier hair, and I'm tired of the damage, and like, we're doing this.
And it wasn't anything you had done, it's just my hair. It doesn't like color.
Right. Yeah, well, and hair, whenever it's not being damaged. I mean, some people like having blonde put in their hair for extra texture.
Oh, that's interesting.
But it's not usually like curly texture. It's just like, it's going to get them more volume at their roots, kind of
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and those are usually people that don't have curly hair.
That makes sense.
And have we done a face frame on you before?
I think we had and then we didn't, but it's okay if we do one.
Okay.
I like face frame.
Okay, I kind of feel like it would be helpful in this situation. I feel like it would work better.
So what do you personally, what's your favorite haircut to do?
Like a certain style.
Yeah.
Um, that's a good question.
That's kind
I
of like
definitely-
asking what your favorite child is. Like,
much challenging. So doing stuff on extremely long hair, like if people have a certain hair type and I don't know how it's going to sit and I'm learning while I'm doing the haircut, is kind of, it makes it more of a challenge. And then so anything as far as like pixie cuts are always super fun, and
So you like
bobs are super fun. Yeah, just because it's like it's just very distinct style, you know.
Yeah. It's a way to be expressive.
Yes, for sure, and it gets my creativity out, and I don't get those every day, and you know.
So you loved it when I came in and was like, please chop all my hair off.
Yes, change is exciting. Change is so exciting. Okay, so are you feeling like, so the way I cut your hair before and I just followed kind of what I did before, I leave you, I give you shorter layers in through your crown area, and then I leave them a little bit longer towards your face so you're not like, whoa.
And the main reason for that is that I can pull them back. Like, that, I think that was the main thing. So, like, if I can get them back in the ponytail because I'm doing all that running,
Okay.
that's the one requirement.
Okay. Do you feel like these could be a little bit shorter? I feel like they could.
Yeah,
but I
let's
just
do
want
it.
to check with you. Okay.
It'll grow.
Okay. Awesome. I'm gonna just bring those up a little bit higher within your face.
Yeah, I love it when the layers are really short in the back around my crown. My hair springs up like crazy.
Yes. Yes. I love that too. And that is kind of like the trick with curly hair. It's like you have to have so much layering, but you don't want it to take away from your length, you know, and then your thickness at the bottom. That's really important too. Because I've had haircuts from people that didn't know how to cut curly hair.
No.
And then I have like all this great volume and then strings down here. And I'm like, what did you do to me?
Oh no!
What? What has happened?
And that really looks like what's happened this time. The length is, I think you barely took anything off.
Right. I just trimmed you barely.
But even with my wet hair, there's more holding. And it wants to be wavy, and so that being there's not, it makes my layers harder to blend. I think, I'm not sure. Like,
Well, and I don't like
it's
thing
not
with hair. You just don't want anything to look like, especially with layers. Like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden there's this top layer.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
No, not cute.
You don't want to see where it starts and stops.
Right. I just want it to blend seamlessly. So right now, to explain to everybody what I'm doing, I'm just taking little triangle sections, mostly through her crown, and then I'm gonna do like these front two pieces as well, just to blend that very top layer into her hair and help it become a little bit more weightless.
And that's that. That is exactly how I get my hair cut. And I wanted to do the intro outro of this video with product-free hair, other than leave-in, to show you the cut more effectively. This is how my hair has air dried after getting it cut. I've washed and styled it a couple of times since my haircut, but let me show you the back so you can see all those layers. So as you can see, I have kept most of my length, but there's been so many more layers added that it's giving my hair and head some shape. Anyway, I hope you found today's video helpful. Please leave more questions in the comments if you have them, and I bet you I can get Christian to answer some more if you need it. And please hit that subscribe button before you leave and ring the bell. I would greatly appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Talk to y'all later. Bye!